Yep.
I was stationed there for about 2 years, I believe.
Okay.
Boy, but anyway,
I don't know.
We're about the same.
the friend and I, sometimes on Liberty, we'd go right down to Los Angeles and work for Chase and Sanborn Coffee Company.
Oh, really?
And then first I sent all my money. We didn't get paid much in the service.
Okay.
$50 a month is started out with.
Oh my gosh.
$50 a month for a seaman. And then for first class, and then I finally, first you're a seaman, and when you find out you take tests, I got to be a third class petty officer, and then a second, about as far as I got out. Well, anyway, I sent all money up there to Dad in Oakley, Idaho.
Uh-huh.
So then I worked down there in Chase and Sanborn, and I'd send that up there. Then I got shipped over to Okinawa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you found
It's
it
300
yet?
water miles from the coast of Japan. I was getting ready to invade Japan.
Uh-huh.
And so then I think they paid me combat pay, maybe, right? Being over there in foreign lands.
So
All that.
you got a little extra
So I
money
sent
then?
that to Dad. No, yeah, no. I was already sending the money to Dad. So those guys, the Navy kept my money, until I got back. So then they give me all my money and sent it to Dad until I got back. So boy, I had $3,000.
Wow.
Well, he pretty much in 1949.
Well, I guess when you're on a boat in by Okinawa, there's not a whole lot you can spend money on, right?
Oh, no, nothing. Yeah, I didn't spend a dollar. Didn't spend a dime. Yeah, I was on that water from May, June, July, August. Yeah, May, June, July. 4 months I was on the ocean.
Oh,
We
really?
stopped there and looked at some of those islands, got off and looked at coconut trees and things, but we had to sleep on that thing, rocking all night long.
You probably don't get a very good night's sleep.
Wasn't bedded down on land for 4 months, or 3 months.
Wow.
May, June, July, and August.
So you just get used to it. There's no getting seasick and getting off it, huh?
Oh boy, it's kind of funny. You guys have probably sometime or other been in harm's way, and you felt real good, but you didn't realize you could have got killed till later on, and you got thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then, oh boy, you worry. Well, we didn't think nothing about it at all, but they're planning on using. There's building up Okinawa there. The United States was. There wasn't nothing there. They'd bombed everything out. There wasn't any city there. There wasn't any trees. A typhoon. We spent a typhoon there, and it was 130 miles an hour. It takes all the trees out, I guess, because there wasn't any trees. All there was brush.
Uh-huh.
And we just happened to go to work. But I would imagine along the first part of 1946 would been fighting combat, hand-to-hand combat.
Oh yeah, you'd have been down there in the trenches.
Good old Harry Truman, President Truman, he gave him a chance.
Uh-huh.
You heard how the war ended, didn't you?
Yeah, he told them to cease and desist, right?
Yeah. Well, first the United States sunk at the Battle of Midway.
Uh-huh.
The Japanese were trying to take it and had all 4 of their battleships there. The United States sunk all 4 of them. Well, that's the turning point of the war. They didn't have nothing left.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know why the United States didn't leave all these islands to let those guys die on the vine, because the Japs had taken all these other islands on the way through.
Okay.
So, but the United States kept taking them back, to help the people, I guess. Well, anyway, they got back to Japan itself, and the United States used regular bombs on all the anything they could make war with in Japan, but they
Okay.
wouldn't surrender. So the United States went into the fire bombs, and that was a bomb. They called them cluster bombs. The bombs would hit, and boy, they spread out like. And then when they hit, they'd be like jello, rolled around Tokyo and all that. But all these Japs run the hills and the caves and got in the rivers, I guess, where they could be safe. But anyway, they're expecting, they're trying to get the United States to make them a surrender negotiation treaty.
Okay.
So what else could the United States of Harry do? He'd use bombs and fire. Couldn't use water because they get rains and typhoons and everything over there. They couldn't use wind. So he sent a message. We have developed a new weapon that will change the way wars are fought. And I would advise you to surrender now. So they sent back a message. We will think about it. So he waited a whole week. That's no response.
Uh-huh.
So he dropped his bomb on Nagasaki.
Uh-huh.
No, Hiroshima, on the first one. So then he waited another 3 days or something. No response. So he drops it on Nagasaki. But I understand they had a cloud cover over the city, and the airplane they did find an opening, so they dropped it in that. So a lot of the energy either went to the mountain there or to the ocean because it didn't do as much damage.
Oh.
But it's still nothing. So he waited another 2 or 3 days, I guess, not very long. So he sent another message. He said, now surrender or face total devastation. So he says, what will you do with the emperor? He was just a stooge. The only time I ever saw him in the news here was he riding around on a white horse. Just a little kid, about a 12 or 15-year-old kid riding around on a white horse.
Oh, really?
His dad used to be the emperor, and he died and made his kid the emperor, just like that little Billy the Kid there in Korea.
Okay.
His dad died and made that little kid
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, they said, President Truman said, well, you can let the people decide his fate. So I seen pictures where he's walking down the street and he'd meet some of the people, he'd bow to him.
Huh.
He sits in that chair and just dozes.
Okay. So,
Tell him.
well, he's telling me a story about.
Fall out.
He's telling me a story about the war.
Pardon?
He's telling me a story about the war.
Oh.
Okay, it's your turn there.
You said you worked on the Enola Gay, didn't you?
That were?
You said, I think last time I was up here, we were talking about the charging systems on the B-2 bombers, and you said that one time the Enola Gay came through Hill Air Force Base?
I did, yeah. I did. I had a chance to work on that Enola Gay that went and dropped a bomb.
So,
I don't know why I was working at the flight test
okay.
in Imperial Field. Now the mechanics, they repair the airplanes in the hangar, and then they send over flight test, and they have some pilots fly them, and what discrepancies they have, they write them down, and we had to fix them so they could fly them again. And so I don't know why they send them up there. They do have a transit hangar where they take care of all these transit airplanes that come through and needs help, but I don't know why they send them up there or why, unless the guy couldn't handle it or something. Anyway, at that time I was what they call the aircraft electrical leader.
Okay.
So anyway, the guy had trouble on the thing. So
You know, Vaughn,
that airplane looks like a B-29, but it's built
if
a lot
this
different.
man would tell it to somebody who can record it, we'd have good things. But he never talks about the war.
Well, I'm logging at my memory right now. You continue the story.
I know. I guess he knows he's going to be gone in a few years.
Well, on a regular B-29, you got what, about an 8 foot Bombay.
Okay.
Okay, how do you think you get from the cockpit back to the back end of the airplane? There's about an 8-foot deal that takes up so much room there.
Okay. So can you walk through it then, or how do you get through it?
Crawl.
You got to crawl through it.
There's a deal you crawl through.
No way.
Okay, and to get in the thing, you have to climb a ladder and open the hood and get in it. But on this Neola Gay, you walk into it from the side.
Okay.
When I walk in now on that Bombay, you don't need 8 feet. You only need what, 4 maybe for that bomb.
Okay. Oh, because it only carried like 2 bombs, right? Or very few bombs.
1 bomb maybe.
1 bomb. Okay.
I don't know how much. I don't know how many bombs they carries. I wasn't with it that long, but I just went in there and you walk around in the cabin instead of just sitting in a seat and have a canopy over you. You walk around and they have the electrical room.
Okay.
So somebody don't get electrocuted. And have it fenced in. Have it fenced and a fence gate on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Inside the plane?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know for sure, but on one engine, I know they've got a generator on both sides of the engine.
Okay.
Like they on a car, they have one on a car on a B-29, but they have one on both sides. They might have them on 4 of them, maybe, because they had that thing all fenced in with wire. I don't know whether chain link wire or chicken wire or something to keep them. So some of these guys wouldn't accidentally get in there and get killed or something.
So
Well,
it made extra power then?
Huh?
It had a bigger charging system on it? Or
Yeah.
it made more power?
Yeah, they must have that thing hooked in parallel or something, so that all those generators produce all that current. Probably the same voltage, but more current.
Okay.
And so, but anyway, all they needed was some reverse current relays. But anyway, that was an experience I had.
So you just put the relays in it and sent it on its way, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. So what other memorable things did you do while you were up on base? What other projects?
Well, one thing I kind of enjoy, kind of laugh about when people talk about buying so many head, or selling so many head, or feeding so many head. What do you think about it?
People. Heads of people, right?
No, you're feeding head, buying head. You don't buy people.
Oh.
You buy head.
Cattle.
Cattle, yeah. So we went up to the guys working on an airplane.
Uh-huh.
We said, hey, we've got to rake up a bunch of cash in a hurry. How much do you think Ted Head would bring us? He said, well, it depends on how fat they are. And my friend said, we're talking about 10 head of cabbage. Whoever heard of a fat cabbage? So we're down to Leverkin getting a permit for that house down there.
Okay.
The secretary there punched away on her calculator.
Okay.
You don't know whether they're adding or subtracting or dividing.
Or if they're hitting 2 keys instead of 1.
Yeah.
Or if they're hitting 2 keys instead of 1 accidentally.
Yeah. So I said to Glenn, I said, boy, I said, we might have to sell 10 head. She said, are you John Cattleman? Glenn said, no, we're farmers. We're talking about 10 head of cabbage. So it was here in Clearfield.
Uh-huh.
The insurance woman wanted to sell us more insurance.
Okay.
So she's there packing away her calculator, and I said, Bernadine, I said, We might have to sell 10 head. She said, if you do, save me some beefsteak.
Save her some what?
Beefsteak. Beefsteak.
Beefsteak?
Save me some beefsteak.
Some of the good cut of the cow?
Everybody thinks about a cattle. You know?
Oh, that beefsteak's good.
Yeah.
We got tri-tip down in California that I always try and get. I really like the taste of the tri-tip.
Oh, there's that one guy that worked there that knew I owned his 2 acres down here, right below Hillfield.
He owns 10 acres?
There's one guy, one friend of mine that knew I owned his 2 acres right below Hillfield.
Was it Higley?
No, that's the real estate guy that kind
Oh,
of
okay.
worked with me. Well, anyway, every time you see me, you say, boy, every time I look at you, I see dollar signs.
So you had all the land here, or what?
I had 4 acres really. Oh, you actually did my land all go all the way down to the tracks.
Yeah.
No, it just went down to where Larry's property is.
And then he bought that separate?
Yeah, but that's the one that started me going. I was looking. When I got out of the service, I come back out here and where the Freeport Center is. That used to be the Navy Supply Depot.
Okay.
During the war. So I worked there. When I first come out, they had a housing project right across the street from it for the people during the war. So we rented there for a while. So I wanted to find a place to live, so I seen this advertising one time about Larry's property down there.
Okay.
So I went up to find out about it, and the woman said, well, that belongs to my son, and he's planning on building a veterans home there or something. So I said, oh, okay. So then I went back to Anchorage, back where we lived, and about a week later I got a letter from her. She said, Mr. Mills, did you find any land? And so I called her and I said, no, I didn't. So she said, I'll sell you my 2 acres, right next to his. All it was sunflowers and puncher weeds and sandburrs. But it's level. Oh, that is a good thing. It's real level. And had water rights to it, ditch and all that. So I said, well, I'll look at it. So I went and looked at it. And sure enough, I wanted to buy it. So I went up to buy it, and I wanted to know if she'd take time.
What's time mean?
Time on
like
a
loan?
Payments.
Okay.
And she said, well, I'll go downstairs and ask my husband. So she could back up and said, no, he wants cash for it. So I had $30,000, $3,000.
3,000?
So I gave him $2,000 cash for it. So then I had the land all paid for. So I still had another $1,000.
Okay.
So then I started building that gray house. So I had my dad, I didn't know nothing about building. So I had my dad come down from Oakley, Idaho, and her dad come up from Oakland, California, and they framed it up for me. And then I went ahead and the guy that married her sister, my brother-in-law, helped me on some of the plumbing and some of the stuff. And we finished the thing off. The 2 dads had framed it up, closed the doors and windows and everything. So all I had to do is put the wall siding on the outside and then sheetrock and all that. It all took time, but anyway, we got living in it in 1949.
Wow.
So then her husband and him and 2 friends in Salt Lake had gone up to Seattle, Washington, into a cabinet shop.
Okay.
So he wanted me to buy one guy out and wanted her dad buy the other guy out. So we did. That's a mistake I made. Kinda. It's a mistake I made because I didn't make anything all summer long.
Were you working at the cabinet shop, or you
Yeah,
just?
but I learned how to build cupboards, though. Cabinets. I built those cabinets out there.
Oh, okay.
And I learned how to do that, so that's one thing. I didn't get any pay to speak of, just enough to live on.
Okay.
So then, boy, we hated it up there. It was in the summer there at midnight or during the night, like now you see every star in the sky. In the morning you couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
Because of the fog, or what?
Yeah, fog, yeah.
Oh.
And so we couldn't leave there because Mother was pregnant with Glenn, and so we had to stay till about October. But as soon as we could she could move, leave with Glenn. He was just a little baby then.
Yeah.
We got out of there. Oh, and I'd rented my place out to my cousin down here.
Okay.
So I wrote down to him, told him that we'd be coming back. So he vacated the place, so we was able to
Move back in.
So I rented a trailer, loaded most of the stuff in it, brought it down, and then my dad had a bunch of mohair. Do you know what mohair is? That's goat hair.
Goat hair?
Wool. Wool is off sheep, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And mohair is off of goats. He had about a big 300-pound bag of that stuff, and he'd made arrangements up in Oregon there for him to buy it. So we loaded it in and down a small trailer I had, and then it's a big trailer. Took one trailer back up in mohair. He traded mohair for blankets and coats and stuff made out of wool and stuff. And then I loaded the rest of the stuff, and Mother and Glenn in the car and the other trailer, whatever stuff we had, and come on back. And in the meantime, the Korean War had broke out.
Korean War?
It had broke out.
Okay.
So I went up to Hillfield to get on I believe I had a friend wrote up to me and telling me that they was hiring down there or something. Anyway, I went up to get on Hillfield, and the old guy at the place where you was checking people out said, "Well, leave your name at the post office."
Okay.
Well, can you imagine me leaving my name at the post office and me still without anything?
Yeah.
So I remember a guy I talked to when I left. He checked me out. So I went to see him, and he said, "I remember you quit here last spring, went up to Seattle." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, we got a lot of jobs here. Come on back." And I said, "Well, that guy wouldn't let me in." And he said, "Go tell him that McMillan sent you."
McMillan, huh?
Yeah. So I went storming back in there. That old guy looked down over his eyes at me. I said, McMillan sent me, and boy, he dished out the papers.
Was he a general or something?
No, just a employee.
Okay.
Did you hit any rain when you came through?
Nope, not until the last minute.
Well, we were sitting, Larry was up here, brought us dinner, and it got real dark. And then it thundered.